I don't.
Okay. And the bulletproof vests were for your own protection,
Correct.
just in case you get in a shootout?
Sustained.
Okay. In case you get shot?
Objection.
Sustained.
What would the bulletproof vest be for, sir?
Objection.
Sustained.
Now, 4 months after sending this text message, you made your deal with the state of Massachusetts, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. And then after getting your deal, you got another firearm, right?
Objection.
Overruled.
Got another firearm?
Yes.
Okay. A Smith & Wesson?
Possibly.
A .40 caliber?
Yes.
Okay. And you committed another crime with a gun?
Correct.
Okay. And after you committed this crime, and after having these assault weapons, Commonwealth still didn't pull your deal, did they?
Sustained in that form. Rephrase.
Yes, sir. After getting arrested for a gun offense, you still, the deal you made with the Commonwealth of Massachusetts still stayed intact.
Correct.
Okay. And then you were convicted of that offense, correct?
I pled no contest. Correct.
You were convicted.
I pled no contest. Correct.
You're making a distinction here. I know you like to distinguish words. I want to be clear. You were convicted of that crime.
By pleading no contest, that resulted in a conviction. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, you testified that you didn't get any favors from the Commonwealth as it relates to any other cases, right?
Correct.
Okay. You had a total of 6 charges on that case, right?
Objection.
I'll see you at sidebar.
Mr. Bradley, after conviction.
Hold on 1 second, if you would. I'll say, Mr. Bias.
Yes, sir. After your convictions on this specific case, the firearm charge that you received, that you picked up in February of 2014, February 3rd, that is. One of the conditions, actually, let me rephrase that. That case did not go to trial or anything happened in that case for 3 years, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And your conviction is on the date of January 9th, 2017, correct?
Correct.
And one of the conditions of your parole is for you to come and testify here, correct?
Not correct.
Okay. You were never advised that you needed to, as a special condition of your parole, that you need to come and testify in this case?
It's not applicable, sir, because I'm not paroled. I'm not on parole. I'm currently in custody still.
My question to you, sir, is a special condition of your parole that you come and testify in this case?
What was said on the record, I believe, was if I'm paroled, to make sure that I appear in court here.
My question is simple, and I'd like for you to listen to it. And that is it a condition of your parole that you testify and abide by any subpoenas in this case?
Objection. Asked and answered.
No, you may answer that question, whether or not, if that is a condition of your parole once it is granted.
My understanding was if I'm paroled and out on the street before I have to appear at this court date or any court proceedings, I just have to make sure I appear.
I'll ask you a question. The question again, is it a specific condition of your parole that you appear for this case?
Objection.
Sustained.
Sir, I feel question's going to be withdrawn.
Sorry, I didn't catch
Mr.
it.
Bias, please.
Yes, I was just adjusting something. Okay, you testified yesterday under direct examination that you and Aaron came down to clubs all the time.
Correct.
You guys went out 3 times a week.
Are you asking me?
Yep.
Yes.
You guys went out all the time to clubs. Correct?
Yes, but that's,
Okay.
I don't know if you're asking me a question.
I am asking you a
You
question.
didn't put it in question form. That's why I didn't answer.
Okay. You understand that you testified that you went out multiple times a week with Aaron Hernandez.
Yes.
Okay. And you came to Boston all the time.
If you're asking me a question, yes.
Yes, I'm asking you questions.
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you came to Boston, you would go to the theater district, correct?
Correct.
All right. And when you came to the theater district, many times you went to Cure.
Correct.
And many times you went to the circle of clubs within the theater district.
Correct, if you're asking me.
And when you went down 3 times a week, they were mostly to Boston nightclubs.
Yes.
Okay. And all the times you came down to Boston, you guys went down, what, for about a year?
Repeat what you're asking me, please?
You guys went partying to Boston for a time period of a year, correct?
More than that.
Year and a half of your friendship?
Are you asking me up until this point?
Correct. Before the incident of the shooting.
Yes.
Okay. So you've been coming to Boston 3-4 times a week for about a year and a half. Is that correct?
Approximately, yes, that's accurate.
Okay. And in all that time, you didn't know anybody from Boston.
Other than the individuals from the Club Cure, like, maybe some staff, no.
And you never met anyone in your 3 days a week in Boston every time you came into town.
Can you specify, have I ever met anyone?
Yeah, you didn't
Like
meet
made
anybody
friends?
while you were coming to Boston, right?
Yeah, I've said how I've interacted with people, but made friends, no.
Okay. And you testified that you always drove, right?
Yes, for the most part. Most of the time I drove.
Yet the night of the shooting, you get lost.
I made a turn down a one-way street.
And then you got lost, right?
No, I didn't get lost.
You testified that Aaron Hernandez was utilizing the GPS. Do you recall testifying to that yesterday?
Yes, but at what point are you asking me did I get lost? It's a bit confusing.
Okay, when you left Boston, you testified that you got lost.
I testified that at some point during the travel back to Connecticut, we got lost, correct?
Okay. That's because after coming 3 times a week for a year and a half, you don't know how to get back to Connecticut for where you're from. Is that correct?
That's not necessarily correct.
Just that night, you got lost.
We got somewhat lost, yes, we did.
And you need a GPS. Is that
Yes,
correct?
He GPS'd, yes.
Okay. Now, I want to take you to July 16th, 2012. And this is the video that, of course, you went over with Mr. Hagan. This is you guys arriving, correct?
Oh, yes, correct.
All right. For the record, it's 12:04:45. And you were driving, right?
I believe so, yes.
You didn't get lost getting there, right?
No.
Okay. So now you get there. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I think I'm going too fast. Sorry, just want to slow it down to regular speed. Yeah, but I want it at regular speed.
remember. Do we know which exhibit number this is?
Mr. Baez, if you could reference this exhibit number.
Michelle.
That's the speed that you was taking.
That's not the speed. That's way too fast. Stop it and then start it over again. Okay, try it again.
That's really the speed.
That's way too fast. Look at that. Apologize for the technical difficulties. I wanted regular speed.
If you open it real quick time, you can fast forward.
Okay, let's open it up in quick time, please.
Yeah.
You be able to fast forward the first line of legs is a hard shape. Are you satisfied with the authenticity? Yeah. Okay, I'm now directing your attention, Mr. Bradley, to 122903. You're about to come into frame. Do you see yourself and Mr. Hernandez?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you at any time notice any of the four individuals in front of you in line?
No, at that time.
Okay. And you testified yesterday that you don't recall what it is that you're discussing with Mr. Hernandez right there. You see that?
Yes.
And that is when you're actually pointing in the direction of the line, correct?
Yes, my hand appears to be in that direction, but I'm not pointing at that gentleman, sir.
Okay. I didn't ask you that. The general direction of the line. Do you see that?
Okay, repeat the whole question again, please, sir.
At this time, at 12:29:21, you're pointing in the general direction of the line.
Yes.
Now, it is at this time, or shortly thereafter, after you go inside of Cure, that you allege that this incident took place, the bumping incident, correct?
Correct.
Now, I remember you testified yesterday, if you can put one of the exhibits.
I'm sorry?
You testified yesterday that you went into Cure and you immediately walked to the bar with Mr. Hernandez. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
Okay. And you testified that once you got to the bar, Mr. Hernandez walked a couple feet to your left.
Right, it was, sir.
To your right? Okay, we're going to point that out
I
in
am
just a
facing the
second.
bar.
I'm sorry, repeat that, please.
I said, if we're downstairs, and well, if you want to pull up the exhibit, I could better explain what I'm saying.
I'm going to go back to that in a second.
Okay, let's stay right
Okay.
here.
So you walk down, right?
Correct.
Okay. How long did it take you to get down the stairs? About 30 seconds?
Maybe, that sounds about right.
Okay. And then you walk all the way to the bar. Is that correct?
Correct.
That's at the other end of the club there.
Yes, you can see the stairs right there, sir.
I see that. Would
So-
you agree that it's at the other end of the bar, the club?
Yes.
Okay. How long would it take you to get over there? Another 30 seconds or so?
I mean, maybe less, perhaps.
Okay. Is it fair to say from the moment you walk in, it takes you about a minute to get to the bar? Is that a fair estimate?
That's a fair estimate.
Okay. So then you get there and you testify that you were on the right side of this bar, correct?
False.
Okay. Where were
Testified
you?
that I went towards the left side of the bar.
You went to the left
Yes.
and Aaron went to the right.
Correct.
Okay. And you testified that he was pretty close to you.
In regards to,
He was pretty close to you. You still could see him where you were at.
yes,
Okay. He didn't disappear from you.
correct.
Okay. And after you guys got your drinks, right?
Yes, we did get drinks.
Okay. And this would have taken about another, what, minute or two to get the drinks?
I mean, I'll be speculating if I give you the exact time. I don't know.
Okay. You know how long you were in the club?
Short amount of time. I don't know exactly, but
Okay. Did the bartender come right to you right away?
no, there was actually a empty spot, like a bartender with no one in front of her, and I went to her on the left side,
Okay. And then Aaron was at the other end of the bar?
towards the other end of the bar. Yes.
Okay. And what did you order?
I don't recall what I drank, like exactly, but usually I'd be guessing, but I would imagine Patron, maybe.
Okay, so you got some tequila.
Yep, a mixed drink.
Okay. And Aaron then ordered his drink.
Correct.
You claimed, or you testified, that he ordered 2 drinks.
Correct.
Okay. Not that that was your drink, but that he ordered 2 drinks, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that would have taken approximately another minute or so
Another minute or so to what?
for him to get his 2 drinks.
Objection.
Sustained in that form, rephrase it.
Would have taken him approximately another minute or so to get 2 drinks, right?
Objection. Another.
Another minute beyond what, sir?
After the minute it took them to get to the bar.
So your question is, did Mr. Hernandez get 2 drinks within 2 minutes of arriving?
Correct.
Is that your memory, sir?
I believe he bought 2 drinks at the same time.
Okay. Approximately 2 minutes after arriving, right?
If that's what you're saying, yes.
I know what I'm saying. I want to know if you say it.
Well, what you're asking me to do is give you an exact time about something that I can't.
And you can't even give us an estimate.
You didn't ask me for an estimate.
Okay, I'm asking you now. Can you give us your best estimate as to how long it would have taken for him to get 2 drinks?
I would say we had our drinks within 2 minutes of entering, let's just say.
Okay. That wasn't very hard, was it?
That's what you said.
Okay. Now, after this, you join up with Aaron now, right?
Correct.
And this is when you see the dancing gentleman.
Yes.
Okay. About how long right after you 2 meet up does the gentleman come around dancing?
I would guess within a few minutes. I mean, a couple minutes maybe. I don't know.
Okay. So a couple minutes later, someone comes around dancing, and Aaron's with you.
Yes.
Okay. He's not out of your sight.
I mean, he's been out of my sight at some point. I mean, I didn't watch him. It's like I went to the bar. I didn't babysit Mr. Hernandez. He's an adult.
But you're both adults, but you're at the club together, right?
Correct.
Okay. And that is when Mr. De Abreu comes over, bumps into him, and you immediately take action, as you stated, right?
Objection.
No, overruled.
I never stated that I immediately took action.
Well, I want to make sure I get your words right. I'm sorry. You're right. I was on top of it fast. You recall saying that?
After the bumping incident occurred, yes.
Okay. So you're on top of it fast, the bumping happens, and you grab Mr. Hernandez.
Yeah, grabbed his shirt.
Okay? You grabbed his shirt, and you were the peacemaker.
If that's what you want to call it. I just told him we should leave. I just suggested we should leave. If that's the peacemaker.
Okay? You said that you weren't for that, right?
Was it? Yes, correct.
And that you didn't want any trouble.
Correct.
And that's not why you go out.
Correct.
And when you go out, you don't look for trouble, you don't want trouble.
Objection.
Overruled.
Right?
Correct. I don't look for trouble when I go out.
Okay. And you don't want trouble when you go out.
Objection.
Sustained.
And in fact, you like to keep the peace all the time.
Objection.
Sustained.
You like to keep the peace when you go out, sir?
Objection.
Sustained.
You're a peaceful guy when you go out.
Objection.
Sustained.
All right, so you grab Mr. Hernandez and you immediately take him out of the club, right?
I don't take him out of the club. He takes himself out the club.
He's your friend, right?
We leave together, correct.
Okay, and you don't want him because he's an athlete, you don't want him getting in trouble.
Not only that, I don't want entered into it. It's not what I came out for. And on top of that, he has a lot to lose, and he's a friend of mine, and I cared about him at the time.
Yes, we know you care about Mr. Hernandez. Now,
Objection.
when you walk
Describe the
out,
comment.
Sustained. Jury will ignore the commentary.
you cared about him that night, right?
At that time, yes.
Okay, and as you're taking care of him, you're kind of guiding him out. Would that be fair to say?
We're walking out of the club together.
Okay, and you immediately want to get him out of that club because you know that if Aaron gets in trouble, it's going to be on the news, it's going to be a problem, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you're kind of ushering him out. Would that be fair to say? I don't want to put words in his
Ask an
mouth.
answer.
You may answer it for the last time.
We're walking out the club together.
Okay, you're kind of ushering him out though, right? Encouraging him to leave.
You may answer.
I had encouraged him to leave, yes.
Okay, and that's all the way up the stairs and out the door, right?
Yes, we leave. We go upstairs and leave out the door.
Okay, and you're with him the whole time,
Correct.
okay? And remember when we talked about telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, remember about your immunity agreement? We went over it like 5 times,
Yes.
okay? Now, you testified yesterday that when Aaron goes out, he's antisocial, right?
Not completely antisocial, but he's not the most social. He's not that social.
He doesn't have a happy face.
I never said he didn't have a happy face.
What were your words? That he has a tough guy look?
He carries a tough guy demeanor a lot, often, yes.
And he's not social. You said that.
He's not too social, you're
He
correct.
likes to go out 3 times a week, drive all the way to Boston, an hour and a half, and not be social, right?
Objection.
No, you may answer that question. You may explain your answer.
Now repeat the question again?
He likes to get dressed up, drive an hour and a half, go all the way to Boston, 3 times a week, and not be social.
That's not correct. It's not an hour and a half to Boston. Where he is. It's a close drive for him. So
Okay.
it's a long drive for me.
30 minutes, 3 times a week,
Correct.
get dressed up,
Correct.
and not be social.
Correct. He's social with me.
Okay. Just with you.
For the most part, yeah. He's
Okay. Now, may I approach?
You may.
Showing you a photograph of Aaron. Is that what Aaron was wearing that night?
Correct. Yes, it
Is
was.
that a fair and accurate representation of Aaron Hernandez in that photo?
Yes, that's what he was wearing that night.
Okay. Is fair and accurate representation of what he was wearing and him? Photograph of him? Okay.
Yes.
All right, at this time, I'd like to move this in as an exhibit.
No objection.
It'll be received as a photograph of the defendant.
Now, sir, you've testified in 3 proceedings in this case, right? 2 times in the grand jury and here
Correct.
in this trial.
Correct.
And you've given multiple statements to law enforcement,
Correct.
okay? And in all of these statements and all of this testimony, you never mentioned that at the club that night, Aaron Hernandez went and took a photograph with anyone,
No, I didn't mention it.
okay? Because you didn't see that, right?
That is correct.
And you were not present there when that photograph was taken.
I should say I don't recall seeing that, sir. And I was present in that club that night.
You were not present there, right there in that back room, when that photograph was taken, right?
Objection at back room.
Sustained as to foundation.
Okay. Sir, can you take a look at the background of that photograph?
Yes.
Do you see right back here, like some walls, like some round objects there?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with Cure nightclub?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar that there's a separate bar area in the back?
No.
You've never been back there in the multiple times that you went to Cure?
No, I don't recall ever being in the back room inside of Cure.
Okay. Well, at the very least, you can testify that you did not see this happen that night,
Correct.
okay? And that you can't account for Aaron, if this photograph was in fact taken that night, you cannot account for that time in any way whatsoever.
Correct. I didn't babysit Mr. Hernandez.
Okay? Now, in the entire time that you're in that club, whatever transpired here, you just don't know, right?
Do you mean this particular photo?
Yeah.
I have no recollection of this, no.
And when the police questioned you about your involvement that evening, if in fact this photo was taken that night, that is not a complete version of what occurred that night, right?
Objection.
Sustained in that form.
Okay. I'll withdraw the question. Now, you testified that Aaron is not very social, right?
Correct.
Okay. That he doesn't like being recognized and things like that, right?
Correct. Something along those lines, correct.
May we reproach?
You may.
Sir, I'm going to show you a diagram that is listed as Exhibit H, which is a floor plan of the Club Cure. Do you see that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize it as Cure? You see the stairs on the bottom?
Yes, I do see stairs there.
And the bar here?
Yes.
Okay. This area here, this back area, have you ever been back there and cured?
Not that I recall.
Okay. And you also don't recall ever seeing Aaron Hernandez go back to this area that night?
No, I don't recall seeing him go back there.
All right, sir, I'm now directing your attention to the cure videos. And I'd like for you to tell, if you can, in just a moment. Okay, is that Mr. Hernandez that just walked in?
Yes.
Okay. And I want you to note the last time that you can see Aaron Hernandez on this tape. Do you see that? He just went out of
Yes.
focus, or do you still see his shadow there?
I believe he's out of focus.
Right there. Do you see his shadow?
I believe he's out of focus. It may be a shadow. I'm not
Can
sure.
you speak up, sir?
I said I believe he's out of focus. It may be a shadow. I'm not sure.
Okay. And you see yourself right there, right?
Yes.
You're still in camera view? Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, now let's see when you're out of camera view. Do you see that?
Yes.
12:39:42?
It jumped 9 minutes, I think, sir.
Yeah, it did. Let's see if we can catch that last second. $12:39:45, I guess. 46.
48, it looks like about around there, yeah. 46.
Okay. And then the next time it comes into focus is 12:39:42, and right there you see Aaron coming up the stairs, right? Right here?
Yes, it appears to be Mr. Hernandez.
Okay. Now, I want you to take note of his demeanor and the time. That's a difference of 9 minutes, right?
Correct.
Okay. So total time that you were in the club was 9 minutes.
Correct.
Take note of his demeanor. And where are you?
Believe him coming up behind him.
Right. Oh, no,
Well,
that's not you.
Not yet.
He's still waiting on you, right? There you go.
A couple seconds, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So another individual was behind Aaron Hernandez, not you, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Aaron had to wait up on top of the stairs for you to come out of the club.
He waited a couple seconds, yes.
Okay. And when he comes up, let's see what he's doing. Do you see that he has his phone in his hand?
Yes, I did see the phone.
Okay. And he has 2 drinks, right?
I believe so, yes.
And he chugs them both, right?
Yes.
Which means that he hadn't completed his drinks at all in the bar, right?
Doesn't necessarily mean he hadn't completed his drinks.
Well, so he's just drinking ice, you think?
No, he could have purchased more drinks in between.
Did you see him purchase more drinks?
I don't recall seeing him purchase more drinks.
Okay, so you can't testify as to whether he bought more than 2 drinks, right?
No, I testify right now that he could.
But now, he could have bought 2 drinks without you seeing it, right?
No, it's that you want me to definitively say that he could have only had 2 drinks.
I only want you to definitively say what you saw. Now, what you saw is him only buy 2 drinks, right?
That I recall, correct.
Okay. So what you're saying now is that he could have bought 2 more, right?
Objection it now.
You did say it,
No, overruled.
right?
It was the wording that you used, which
The wording I used. What words did I use that you didn't understand, sir?
you said he could only chug 2 drinks. He only chugged 2 drinks is what you said.
And then you responded, he could have bought 2 more drinks.
He could have gotten more, right?
Okay. Did you see him buy 2 more drinks?
I never said that I did see him buy more than 2
And that's
drinks.
because you were out doing other business and not watching it or not being around Aaron Hernandez, right?
Objection.
Overruled.
Can you explain to me what other business would be?
What business are you in, sir?
Objection.
Reframe the question.
Are you a drug dealer?
Objection.
Overruled.
Currently, no.
Okay. All right. You didn't see him take a picture with the fan, right?
No, I didn't.
Okay. That whole time when he went back to that room, you have no idea. In fact, you had no idea up until today, 4 years later, that Aaron even took that photo, right?
Correct.
And now you're saying he could have bought 2 more drinks, right? Because you weren't with him.
I did say,
And we just saw you coming out of the nightclub where you're not even with him.
did we?
You're behind him, right?
Yes, I was 2 seconds behind him.
After telling this jury that as soon as you were on it fast, right?
Correct.
Those are your words? You were on it fast and you got him to go out, of the club, right?
Correct.
And you left together, right?
Yes.
Not that Aaron leaves first and he's waiting on you to come up the stairs, right?
Correct. I said we left together.
Now you guys go out of the club, right?
Correct.
There's 1 and there's 2. You see those?
Yes.
Saw him take a drink?
Yes.
Okay. That's him finishing 2 drinks, right?
Correct.
Well, I'm not even going to get back into that. Okay. So now, as soon as you walk out of the club, the 2 of you begin a discussion, right?
Correct.
And Aaron tells you to keep him out of your shit, right?
Objection.
No, overruled.
Wrong.
Okay? And you claim that you're the one calming Aaron down, right?
Correct.
Okay? Now, at this point, you stop, right?
You mean what? I stop what?
You stop and you lean into him like this, right?
Counsel, let me see you at sidebar. Ms. Cavallius.
Did you see the movement that you made towards Mr. Hernandez, right?
Can you back it up, please?
Sure.
So I can look.
I want you to see when you raise your left hand and you lean into him. Right there. You see that?
Yes.
Okay. And that's when you're voicing to him what's going on, right?
What's going on in regards to what?
What's going on in the club.
I didn't have to voice to him what's going on. Already had an altercation. That's not correct.
Okay. Let's move. We're going to move forward a little bit. You testified earlier that Aaron was upset and he wanted to go back into cure. Do you recall that testimony, sir?
I don't recall saying he wanted to go back into cure.
Okay. Who's walking ahead to go away from the situation in this I guess in this video right here.
Objection.
We're both walking away.
Okay. Who's walking ahead?
He appears to be a couple steps in front of me.
Okay. Do you see you moving your hands a lot? Right
Yes.
there? Aaron's not doing that, right?
No, not at this point, no.
Okay, the one who's doing all the flailing of the hands is you, right?
Objection of flailing.
The jury will decide whether that's a flail.
Moving your hands.
Correct.
And you continue to do that, right? You still have your hands up?
Yeah, well, I'm still watching. It's going in slow motion, but yes, I still have my hands up.
Still? And you just put them down right there, right? Up again.
Correct.
See that? Up again.
Correct.
You are animated as you're speaking to him.
Correct. I'm talking the way I normally do. I move my hands.
Okay. I'm going to fast forward this a little bit to where you covered yesterday. You guys go to the end of the garage and then you come back, right?
Correct.
You continue to be animated with your hands in the air, right?
Correct. I continue talking.
And Aaron is just standing there,
Correct.
okay? It's at this time where you guys decide you're going to go to the club across the street, right?
Correct.
And you're going to have a good time,
Yes.
okay? Aaron wants to go across the street.
Aaron agrees to go across the street.
Aaron wants to go across the street.
Objection.
Sustained in that form.
All right? Let's see if Aaron wants to go across the street.
Objection.
Sustained.
Right there, Aaron starts to walk across the street, does he not?
Yes, he waves his hands and walks across the street.
Exactly. He walks in that direction, and you stop. Right?
Yeah, at that point, I stopped right there, yes.
You're not going with him across the street. Right?
Wrong.
You stopped at that point, right?
At that point, yes.
Okay. The one who's walking across to the other club across the street is Aaron Hernandez, right?
Correct.
Objection to across the street is on the sidewalk.
One who's walking in the direction of the nightclub across the street is Aaron Hernandez.
Correct.
Okay. The one who is not is you.
Correct at that time.
Right? And is that because you have unfinished business at Cure?
No.
Aaron has to come back and get you, right?
Wrong.
You meet up now with Aaron.
Correct.
You still are not walking across the street. Correct?
Correct. Neither of us are.
And after much discussion, you finally agree to go across the street, do you not, sir?
Yes, we agreed to go across the street.
Look at, you stop right now, right?
Correct.
And you're continuing to debate with Aaron.
That's not a debate, sir.
Okay, you're raising your hands,
I'm talking with my hands, correct?
okay? So now you guys go across the street right there, right? At 105-34. Is that
Correct.
accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about what happens across the street.
Is that us coming back from across the street at 105, 36? Or
Yes.
is that us going across the street at 105-36?
No, that's,
Play that back.
sure. I'm sorry, 12:43, 13.
Sounds more accurate.
All right. All right, sir, so yesterday you testified that when you got back to the other club, that Aaron thought he saw one of the guys that were in Cure, no, two of the guys from Cure cross the street and follow you guys, right?
Wrong. I didn't say they followed us like directly across the street. Once we got into the club, Mr. Hernandez and myself as well at a point thought that a gentleman from across the street came over there.
You testified that Aaron thought he saw someone across the street, right?
Right, and I also testified that I agreed that I thought someone come across the street.
If I can have the court's indulgence, one moment, Judge. Now, when you spoke to the police about this, you told the police that you saw two of the individuals who he was with across the street, right?
I may have testified to that. I do believe that I saw an individual across the street. I'm not sure if I said two of them or...
Okay, and you specifically told the police that you saw the gentleman with the braids across the street at the other bar with you guys, right?
I believe I said I thought I saw the gentleman with the braids across the street.
That's all you said, right?
If you're willing to show me, that's my belief that I thought.
Do you recall being asked, sir, as it relates to the gentleman across the street, page 28, lines 8, counsel,
Which statement?
of the statement, October 8th, the proffer? Just the two of them? And you responded, yeah, I recall two of them. The one that actually did the hard bump was the first one I noticed across the street. And I think the other gentleman who wasn't light-skinned, only one of the light-skinned guys I think came across the street. The other gentleman who had a low cut, who I described earlier, who came there too, and he noticed them coming in. As soon as they came in, it was kind of like, see, look. Do you recall making that statement?
Which is why I asked you to repeat it. I believe I did, but I wasn't sure exactly what I said.
Okay. So you saw Daniel De Abreu across at that bar, right?
I believe that I did, yes.
Okay. And the other one, who you said was not light-skinned, was tall, that would be Mr. Sanchez.
I don't know if that was Mr. Sanchez.
You stated there was another dark-skinned guy who was about your height. You remember saying that?
Yes, I believe I said that.
Okay. So you don't know his name, but you know he was dark-skinned and about your height, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And the two of them came across the street, and not only did you notice them, you also told the police you saw them laughing and having a good time.
Yes, I also told the police that we
Okay,
both
you told the police that, right?
that we believe that, yes.
Okay. No, you told the police that you saw it, right?
That I believed I saw it, yes.
Okay. And you're aware that that's not true, right?
Objection.
It's not true that he thought he saw that?
I'll rephrase the question.
Do.
Have the police informed you, sir, that the gentlemen who were at Cure that night never left Cure nightclub and went across the street?
No,
Okay. So they never informed you of that?
no.
So when you testified that Mr. Hernandez thought he saw someone thought he saw them cross the street, you were not saying it was Mr. Hernandez that saw it. You saw it too, right?
Objection?
Sustained in that form. Let's try that again.
As you sit here today, sir, is it your testimony that you saw the gentleman with the braids go across the street to the other bar with behind you and Mr. Hernandez?
As I sit here today, I believe that an individual or two individuals came from across the street to the bar.
Okay. And then you left that bar 20 minutes later, right?
If 20 minutes is accurate, I'm not sure.
All right, well, let's look. This is 12:43. You guys are still on the sidewalk. I mean, yeah, 12:43 a.m. You see that?
Yep.
All right, Mr. Baez, why don't we stop it there? And we'll take a brief recess, ladies and gentlemen. Chair is